I predicted USC to win this game 34-23. Final score, USC 38, Wisconsin 21. And in my prediction, I said that USC would win this game, but not necessarily in the most impressive fashion. And I had predicted USC not to beat the spread. Turns out they did with that pick six by Mason Cobb. So that was great to see. And with Wisconsin, I called them Michigan light. And I didn't say that for USC to take Wisconsin lightly. It's just they were like Michigan in a lot of ways, and but just not at the same caliber, just a little bit of a step down. But still, a tough competitor for USC. USC really had to earn that win. Getting yards at least in that first half, and then even in the second half, SC really had to earn their keep. They made some incredible plays. Deuce Robinson and Jacoby Lane, receivers. So they're fantastic, and we saw some good things from a couple good plays from Zach Branch, Woody Marks. Did what he could at the run game. Then I thought when Quentin Joyner came in, later in the game, I thought he added a little bit of an extra spark, or maybe just the Wisconsin defense got worn down. I don't know, but I liked what I saw from Quentin Joyner. Miller Moss, that he takes a lot of hits. I mean, the offensive line, I know they're doing their job. They're doing as much as they can. So there's room to improve. Miller Moss has taken a lot of hits, and credit to him for keep getting up and not let it phase him. He takes a bunch of hits, but he'll get up there and throw some amazing touchdown passes. He had a nice little run, little juke there for a touchdown. So yeah, that was all great to see. I was very, very impressed with that. But like I said, this game, it wasn't, well, at least the prediction, I said it wasn't going to be maybe at least impressive. Well, the first half at least was not impressive at all. It was very similar to the game against Michigan, where SC didn't, SC had a little more success, kind of moving the ball down the field than they did against Michigan the first half. But kind of the same thing where Wisconsin, they really, you could see Wisconsin really kind of dominated on the lines, and they were able to kind of have a little bit more success running, kind of running the ball. Wisconsin, they would have a little bit better of a passing game, of course, in Michigan, as I had mentioned, as I had, predicted or thought would be the case from my, from the last video. So Wisconsin, really, I would say they did what I would have expected them to do. Just maybe, SC would then eventually kind of pull away with the win. So that was good. But yeah, Wisconsin was, what I really kind of thought they would be. And it was, a game where maybe Wisconsin might not have looked that impressive in their, first three games, but SC is not necessarily Alabama, so we can't just assume that if it was an easier win for Alabama, that would be easier in the case for SC. But Wisconsin really put up a fight, and they were a very physical team. And there was a lot of questions about SC being able to handle that kind of physicality of the teams like of course like Michigan or like Wisconsin. And at least SC was able to kind of to make things happen and get that win. Now, kind of comparing the lines of the game, I mean, at least definitely the first half, Wisconsin really dominated there. Then in the second half, SC started to figure things out. But I think for SC, that line play is still where things just need to improve at large. I thought looking at the SC on defense, I think that the secondary's doing a great job. They got, like I said earlier in the video, mentioned that I don't know if I mentioned, but yeah, that pick six by Mason Cobb, and great plays by Kamari Ramsey. So like what I'm seeing there, and we'll see if they can kind of keep things going. But Where SC was really able to stand out was in just having more of the athletes. So even if maybe the line play wasn't going to be kind of, let's say, as always as strong as what Wisconsin had, SC had the athletes to make things happen with, Jacoby Lane, Deuce Robinson. So that's good. But just things will continue to have to develop. Will continue to develop. So that'll be good. But that first half, it's interesting how this game was, how similar it was to Michigan. It was, but the only difference was SC was really, once they got the lead, they were able to kind of pull away with it, whereas with the game against Michigan, they couldn't. So the more I'm watching these games, Michigan, Wisconsin, I'm starting to get kind of a better idea, or kind of see what this USC team is like, and if they see their identity, that they could, maybe they aren't necessarily going to be the best first half team, but they've shown that they can be a second half team, and making those adjustments is great to see. Much better than having a great first half and then falling apart in the second half. It seems like maybe in years past, not just Lincoln Riley, but prior to that we had seen a lot of teams like that. In the post Pete Carroll years, where they would play well the first half, and then things would kind of fall apart in the second. So for them to do that, to do what they did, that's great. And for these other Big Ten teams, you're starting to kind of see just very similar playbooks. Just really run the ball, and have big physical offensive line, and they're able to do that. And I think that's just where SC needs to continue to build up to that, that level. Like when Pete Carroll was here, they had dominant offensive lines. They were able to run the ball, and and then on the defense side, they were able to stop, the kind of the big offensive lines and run games of teams like Michigan, or Penn State, from years past. So that's just what we have to see. But for them to beat Wisconsin, great. And we'll see what happens with Minnesota. I mean, I haven't made that kind of preview prediction video yet, but I'm going to assume it'll be a similar game to what we've been seeing now with Wisconsin and Michigan. So take the win. It wasn't pretty in the first half, much better in the second half, going on that 28-0 run, and still, not, things aren't all perfect. I don't think SC's necessarily going to be, seeing with their offense and playing in the Big Ten. I don't think they're going to be putting up 40, 50 points a game, like they were last year or the year before. You can really see kind of differences in Pac-12 play versus Big Ten play. But hey, if SC's able to put up over 300 yards in the air, by Miller Moss against a defense like Wisconsin, great. And that's also good because winning this game, because Alex Grinch was on the Wisconsin side, and that would have been really embarrassing if USC were to lose with Alex Grinch over at Wisconsin, and here he is coming into the Coliseum and getting one. That would have been horrible. Glad it didn't happen. I feel like I've mentioned that guy way too many times, and I think after this game right now, this should be it. I'll try and stop talking about him. So that's all I got to say. Until then, fight on.